Hello everyone. So this presentation, as you say, is about BESSER project, an open source low modeling and low code platform to develop smart software. So the BESSER project is part of the software engineering unit in the Luxembourg Institute of Science and Technology. And it's led by Jordi Cabot, but we are working also with Marcos and Aaron, and my name is Ivan. So let's start. This is the content that I'm going to present. First, the motivation that is behind of BESSER project. Then, of course, an overview of the BESSER project and the current state. And also, I'm going to present something about the BESSER board framework. That is a framework that we are currently working to implement chatbots. So first, I want to define the low-code concept because it's an important concept that we are addressing in this project. Basically, low code aims to reduce the amount of hard coding required to develop applications, and low code improve a lot the productivity, and low code use a lot of techniques and methods that currently are implemented in model-based approach, like domain-specific languages, code generators, model transformations. So there are a lot of similarities between low code and model-based approach. For some people are the same. For other people, low code is the evolution of this model-based approach. These are some of the contribution of low code, I think. And for me, it's very important, the productivity, because with low code, you can generate the code of your application, for example, the boilerplate code using code generators and model transformations. But also the quality is one of the contribution also, because the models can be tested and verified before starting the code phase, the coding phase. And also the portability, because with the same model, you could generate code for different targets, different technologies, different languages. And about the market, there is a growing market in low code. Today, there are some important companies that use low code platforms like Amazon, Microsoft, Google. So the use of low code platform are and will be grow. So what is the coverage of low code? But first, we can categorize the traditional, the software components in traditional software components. So we have, on one hand, traditional software components like the typical database, relational database, the typical user interface or web application. And on the other hand, we have AI components. For example, chatbots, recommendation systems, or something like that. And I have to say that the majority of low-code platforms today are focused on traditional software components. There are other frameworks that are focused in AI components, but typically you have to pay to use it. And also are very specific contribution only in the design of AI components or the development of AI components, but forgetting the traditional software. So this is something that we want to address with the BESSER project. This is the same. The low-code platforms are limited to data entry web, but there is a necessity to or additional platforms to model different areas like AI or natural language processing, digital twins, or virtual reality. So as I said, this is something that one of the main objectives of the BESSER project. This is an example of smart software only, the typical example when we have a e-commerce web application, the typical e-commerce web application when a customer wants to buy a product or buy a service. And maybe this smart software is composed of a relational database, a user interface, and the AI component is the chatbot. that has natural language processing capabilities and maybe also has a recommendation system or something like that. So this is a common example of smart software. And this is, so today it's very difficult to find a tool that provide the specification and code generation for this kind of applications. So this is one of the main objectives, as I said, of the BESSER project, building better smart software faster. And basically, BESSER is a low-code approach and low modeling also to develop smart software. So we want to provide a single editor to model both the traditional components and the smart components or AI components. And of course, it's using the methods and strategies of the model-driven engineering, the domain-specific languages, grammars, model transformation, code generators. So BESSER is a 5-year FNR per project. We are in the first year, so BESSER is a baby, but it's growing very, very fast. And very important will be open source. So we also accept contributions to the project. And this is the high level architecture of the project. So here we have the user, the user, but also, as I said, we have here in the blue, the single editor that we want to provide to enable the modeling of traditional software and also the smart parts of the software, the smart backend, or also a chatbot and a smart front end. And in this side, we had the code generation for this modeled smart software. We want to provide also the capability of training an AI model according to the data provided by the user and deploy basically also the code to deploy the application. So this is our objective, our main goal, yeah. And this is the current state of BESSER, but only for the low-code part. So here we have developed a language called BAML. BAML is a language based or developed in Python and is based on the UML specification. So basically, with this language, the user can specify a model using the typical concepts of UML, classes, relationships, attributes, and others. And also, we have defined some model transformation or code generators. So to specify a model with BAML language, we provide 3 ways. Using a plant UML notation. So here we have designed a grammar to accept the code of a plant UML model. As you know, plant UML is a very popular tool to design UML diagrams using code. So basically, BESSER take this code and internally transform this code to a model that is instance of our BESSER of our BAML language. The second way is coding in Python. Basically, instantiating the classes that we have defined in the meta model. I mean, creating the objects, but the user should have to define the properties, the classes, the relationships of the model. And the third way is to transforming a hand-drawing model, for example, a model drawn in a board. So taking this image, transforming this model to a BAML model. This is not finalized yet. We are making some tests with ChatGPT-4 to transform this image, but we have some problems to solve here. And regarding the model transformation, here we have 3 code generators for SQL Alchemy to generate the Python classes of the model domain and the Django models to generate the model layer of a Django application. So here is an example of the code generated. The code for SQL Alchemy. SQL is a library for Python to manage databases. Also, we can generate the Python model domain. I mean the classes that represent the entities and relationships. So the user could instantiate a model according to the input model. I mean, with this Python model domain, the user could create an author and libraries or books. And the last code generator, the Django code generator, is to generate the model layer of a Django application. So this is the current state of the low-code part of BESSER, but this is only speaking about traditional software components. But about AI components, we also are working in this BESSER bot framework. It's a framework to facilitate or to support the development and implementation of chatbots. BESSER or BBF is based on the state machine formalisms, so you can define the chatbot using states, transitions, and also functions that will be developed in the states. BBF is built also with Python, and we have defined an internal DSL or a Fluent API to create the chatbots. And about the NLP capabilities or natural language capabilities, we are using our own neural network, TrainNet. So this NLP can offer or enable the using of different languages between the user and the chatbot, Spanish, English, French. But the user can also use a different NLP engine if it's required. This is only a quick example about a chatbot with 4 states. And this is an example of how to define a transition. The transitions are caused by events. And an event could be when the input text match when an intent defined for the chatbot. So this is the use of our Fluent API. We are defining here a transitions for the initial state. This is a kind of event and the intent and the destination, the other state. So to summarize, BESSER is a project, an open source, low code and low modeling approach to develop smart software. We are currently developing some code generators for traditional components, traditional applications, but also we are working in this project with the BESSER bot frameworks to design and implement chatbots. As a future direction, of course, that we want to integrate both. So we are extending our BAML language to enable the modeling of state machines. Basically, to provide or to enable the user to modeling a chatbot using our BAML language. And as a future direction, of course, that we have a lot of work. Also, we have to work in the low-code part for AI components and also the low modeling approach. That is something that we have to start to work. So, thank you.
Thank you.